Hey everyone, this is Deborah. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be taking a look at my dip pens. You can see that I've turned to the back page of the book. The reason I do this is I don't like it when you write on the front pages and then you see the mark on the next page. So I'd much rather write on this page so that when I use the next page I'll have a nice fresh page with no imprint in it. I know that's a bit weird, but just how I am. And I've got some dip pens here, and I've got different types, and I've also got some Kandahar drawing ink. Today I went to the art shop just to Eckersley's, and I got this gorgeous little vintage tin, and it's made especially for housing your nibs in. So I've put all my nibs in here. I do have a few. I'll just tip them out for you so you can see. And in fact I bought this one here today. So that's a brand new nib, so we're going to use that. Once upon a time, before pens, biros came into fashion. You'd go to the post office and this is what you'd use. So, you know, I've got a pack of 50 or something of those ones. And the rest of them I've just purchased. Most of them are Speedball pens that I've just got from the art shop and a couple online. What I've also got is I've got a couple of different holders for the nibs. So the way that it works, and I'll show you on this one here, I'm not sure if you can see that, but in the center there's a round metal thing on the outside, and then in the center of the pen, this is hollow, there's sort of 3 metal grips, and you take your nib and you slide it into those grips. So this one here is really tiny, this little nib, and obviously it doesn't want to sit up for me, but never mind. Obviously the roundness, the diameter of that, it's not going to fit in this big pen holder. So you get these little pen holders and you put them in there. You can see the difference in diameter. So this is just a little plastic pen holder. These ones only cost about $5, the pen holders. You can buy these ones in a very good brand and they're hundreds of dollars, but I've just got a plastic one just because I wanted to give it a go. That's the only reason I got it. The other thing I've got, which turned up the other day, is I bought a glass pen, and it comes in this little packet here. Let's move that aside. And it comes with a little teeny tiny bottle of ink, which in this case is a purple. And this little glass thing is a stand for the pen to sit on, so that when you're resting it, you can leave your pen on there instead of having it roll around. At least that's what I think it's for. That's what I would use it for. Glass pens are obviously fairly fragile, and I chose a green one. So when you're looking through, you've got this lovely green flower in there. They come in all sorts of colours. The back of it's not terribly interesting, but when you see it through the glass, you get quite a pretty effect. Let's put it on the black so you maybe see that a bit better. It's got these ridges in it, and that is what holds the ink. What holds the ink in these dip pens, in the Speedball ones, is the well at the back. So in there, there's an actual well that holds the ink. And obviously, you need to keep on dipping them, otherwise you're not going to get much ink in there and you'll run out of ink. But depends on what the nib is as to how much ink it will hold. That seems to be my experience anyway. This one is C5, that's the size of it, and this one here that I bought today is, I think it says C0, so it's much bigger. These little post office pens don't really have a size on them. And I've got another one over here, and this one is an A5, so it's smaller again. So they're all different sizes and different types of nibs. And as you do the stroke, you actually push down to open up the tines. So it's like a fork, open up the tines like that, and that causes a thicker stroke. Okay, so that's that one. Let's pull that one out and I'll show you what this one here looks like. This here isn't going to be as thick as that one that I just did then. but it might write better on this particular surface. If there's any catch on the page, you'll find that it's probably not going to write as nicely. Oh, see how it just ran out of ink? It just means that I didn't give it enough of a dip. But then if you dip too much, oh, that's what happens. I thought I had too much ink in there. If you dip too much, then you'll get a big blob like that. As I said, I'm certainly no expert on any of this at all. I just like playing with the different pens. I think that's what I like about it. Yes, I've even got a bit too much ink on there still. It's just experiment, and you know, if you don't muck around and play with something, you're never going to learn, are you? And this here, I'll try with the angled one. Like I said, I really don't do cursive because I actually don't know how, but the idea is that when you put your, when you do your cursive, so let's say we were doing an M, for example, that you can get that angle on it without having to so yeah, see, I'm not very good at it because I don't do it. Let's try again. So if you want to see somebody do proper calligraphy, don't come and see me because I don't know how. Yeah, so you get that angle as you're writing. It's just easier on your arm to do that. So the other one I wanted to do was the new one that I bought today. So this is a thick one. So hopefully I'm going to get a big flat sort of letter when I do this one. Let's give it a go. Oh, more ink probably. So you get a nice thin thinness here, and then the thick as you come down. Let's try an O. Oh, that's quite good, isn't it? And we'll try a T. Oh, I've run out of ink again. You just got to get used to how much dip that needs. Yeah, I like that, because you're getting this nice thick line and then the thin line. See, this is more of an italic letter, and this is what I learnt at school, although that was many moons ago. I've got a bit too much ink on that, but I do still remember the basics of writing italic letters. There you go. So that's that one. And now I'm going to show you the glass pen. So the glass pen, as I said, has got these sort of ridges. It's kind of like a, I guess, a long, thin, swirly ice cream cone, like a Mr. Whippy cone, because it's got these ridges that run around, and that's what holds the ink, and that's what basically is the ink well. And you'll see that it'll write for much longer. But I'll just take a little bit of ink off there. See how it writes on this page. You're not going to get the thick and thin lines with this one because it doesn't have the tines, so it's spreading the tines that makes the thickness on this sort of thing here. But you'll see that it'll actually write for much longer than the other ones. See, the other dip pen would have run out by now. This one is still going. It's just starting to run out now. So that one will write for a lot longer because it's got a lot more ink in that well. There's more surface area for the well. And then I'd just give this a clean with a wet wipe, because I think if you leave that ink in there, what you're going to find is it's going to dry and you're going to lose the well or the you know, the etching around the outside. I got this off eBay. I know they sell them at a lot of places, and usually they're like around $100, something more than that. I've seen them in the pen shops. They're incredibly expensive, but this seems to be the same thing, and I got that off eBay for about $24 with free postage. It was all boxed up, and it's, you know, fine, no problem at all. So I'm just going to pack my little things back into my gorgeous little tin, because I absolutely think this is lovely. It's an original, well, it's a copy of an original tin, which is just gorgeous. So I hope you enjoyed that. Just a quick video today on my dip pens, and I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Cheers.